Hello, everybody. This is Pink Shorts Friday, September 30th, the last day of the month. Is it? Sure is the last day of the month. Let's enjoy it. 9/30, 2016. Today's show is Chapter 13. We're not repaying reparations. Kensington or Norman. We're just not paying it back. We can't pay it back. We said it with Wells Fargo. And me with the law or dingo. Who wants to contest that? Why can't we get paid? I love a song. Virtual reality will be out soon. 13th of October. Want to remind everybody. Let's get to our intro. Today is LK. We spell bankruptcy the short way. BRUIX.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody.
Voting by aliens. VBA. Sorry, this is not that show, is it? No, this is the EEOC show.
Olympic and Paralympic teams this summer. The president.
We're watching Pitch on Fox. Hello, Josh
Before we get
Ernst.
started today, I'm going to.
We're watching Pitch on Fox.
The United States Secretary.
Catcher, give us a number.
Secretary King is here to talk about a couple of important initiatives.
Golf it up.
That are being advanced by the
Golf,
Obama administration,
bat it.
including some steps that his agency is taking to streamline the process of middle-class families.
Well, today's show is sponsored by 47 U.S. Code 222, Privacy and Consumer Information, and not benefiting from that. Bring that to a restitution of a zero volunteer status, 18 U.S. Code 1385, what's in your wallet, using civilian earpieces from Los Alamos. The military posse committed that. Pink Shorts is still in front of a live democracy republic, both exposed and approved. This is the editor's edition. Thank you for writing the new NREL safety video. They knew. This is the auditorium station, auditorium of Acebis iPhone.
Thank you all for letting me join you today. Saturday, October
Again, restitution of all state and federal funds and gift cards applicable to a volunteer status, 18 U.S. Code 1385.
Time ever, the free application for federal student aid or FAFSA.
Our verbal contract, this is Pink Shorts, 1622, dismiss. Please do not turn and assist following passengers. The use of landing zoning, loss prevention of Electoral College 3, Ojai Red Bay, Bellevue 1, Tim Toyo S. Bell, and communicating with their patents via my client's medulla. Financial aid and communicating with their patents via my client's medulla. Primary motor cortex, primary visual, primary auditory, archley fasciculus, hippocampus, wernickel, BRCA, angular gyrus, or any implosion in a human body. Left or right hemisphere of the brain. Two towers of brain is in agreement and acceptance of identical evidence and discretion of all content obtained will be used for Meriwether businesses and Pink Shorts, not limited.
Most by first generation.
Contact us at 594-1443. Telephone pay us at Geico 1-800-932. The rest is our identity. 47 USC 222. Mechanical overhearing breakdown the map 1-800-443-74011.
Students financial aid.
Call Miss Cleo 1-800-98 Isabel. Zero ground. 86C Microsoft. They're a pocket for the public. 37 Weather Channel. We control it. Two-party consent law is required to eavesdrop or record any confidential communication with the White House, the President of the United States, or any government entity, including a private conversation or telephone call. This is a news program.
To a college education for millions of Americans.
Without the consent of all parties to the conversation, Penal Code 632. Statutes and limitations don't apply. We're in Scandal. Your new show replaces Scandal mid-season, and children claims that California lands for 2 years. We have notes on your episode. Code section 335.1. Please recognize intrusion upon seclusion claims. Howell versus New York Post Code. We have a duty. Duty of confidentiality and breach of patient confidentiality is denied to prevent a critical noncompliance. Once you pay us, you might fine us. An intrusion or seclusion claim is a special form of invasion of privacy, intentionally intrudes physically, solitude, or seclusion of another. In moist states, this is preventable. Intrusion on seclusion claim, a plaintiff must generally establish 4 elements who denied any confidentiality. First, without authorization, preventable. Two, second, offensive, preventable. Third, a private matter, preventable. And fourth, the following cause mental anguish or suggesting or needing to
more than $1.5 billion in increasing access to high-quality early learning.
needing to notarize or need notary of themselves pain and suffering to the plaintiff, preventable. That's 29. Please refer to mass tort claims, intrusion upon seclusion, and needing to have notoriety of what we do.
At least outside.
Hello, White House. How are you?
At the K-12 level,
At the
nearly
K-12
every state in the
level,
country has raised its standards for success in college and careers.
We've raised our terms of service of wanting to know who the chips want to know who we are. Because we have a disclaimer. We have an agreement, an acceptance of identical evidence, the use of your land zoning and land community with your patents.
60% of students graduate on time. And the dropout rate among
We graduated in
students
January from an art degree with a C+ credit rating.
by a third. And after years
ECC
of
one stop.
No Child Left Behind, the administration's priorities were enshrined.
Well, I'm very excited to do today's show. I'm wearing Savvy from head to toe. I did everything you wanted me to do it. You wanted. It's on the vest in stores, audio experience, a love song, motivational speaker, richest man in America, universe, world, galaxy, save me some, other impeach cobbler. Paint the short way, use your phone, send a short wave file to the POS. Highest paid singer in the world. Tweet us via early or late at FRESH_ under credit. Because the boy has a JORDANZ on his left feet. Every 20 minutes of the hour, I wish I could do the ceremony. Remember 311 on the speed your screening process. Us being live in a 3-ounce as contain American United. And we're also 18 USC 2511 intercepting how you vote. Electronic wire, oral, and electronic voting. Electoral college, I'm on left. The new prohibition. Drink alcohol and burn tires on the Thomas Dewey. Today's show is Mirror with a Law, America's first thinking attorney. We made the law sound wonderful, the way it should have been. Retroactive law besides everything. It's as if we never had the show. Let us know and close the doors. The music will sink into the sound system. By this time, after 2 years, whoever is in probably wanted a degree to do it on their own. Orthopedic degree. Temperatures on 67 degrees. We're in a 2017 luxury from me to you. You can run your windows up, you can run your windows down. You can ride with us, Dr. Drew. To get the finer things in life. Today's show is September 30th. EOC, LIN Television, it spells Nicole. LiaYAOOH, Leah Honda. Leah with Walmart on Transit Road. We can predict the future of mass transits. This is a series, PeopleINC, DualEnrollment, WitSec, x4 Broadway. So with that, when we make right turns, please make sure that you don't assist terrorism. You're making right turns. Yeah, they're making right turns and assisting people falling. It's like an implosion. You're assisting them, making a right turn too fast. Turn a little bit slow. No, we can't do that. Press pull. Thank you for your suggestion. We like the out loud suggestions instead of the silent sound. It's more admissible.
Trying to ensure that all low-income and middle-income families have access to high-quality
verbatim software in process. It's our invention.
There's an 8-to-1, 9-to-1 return on investment for every dollar.
For every dollar.
Early learning.
We're learning.
Proposal around America's College Promise.
America's College Promise.
Make
the Electoral College. At least 2 years of orthopedic training. We have a privacy shock and sexual harassment
I think it's
of the White House.
Right direction towards expanding access.
We're unfit to vote.
Places where we should begin, and certainly
that's where Donovan began.
Will need to be vigilant to ensure
and we're 11 years old.
Implement the Every Student Succeeds Act well with careful attention.
People have to know you like children. We're sorry.
Still fairly high out there in the college.
It's exposed and approved. You've agreed. You like children in private areas. We're watching pitch on Fox. The catcher likes to
Student financial
show us
aid
numbers there.
wouldn't be as necessary if college
Catcher,
costs
what's your number?
more.
Well, one of the biggest drivers.
Well,
of
one of the
increasing
biggest
costs for
drivers.
students and families has been disinvestment by
Investment
states
by
in public higher
public.
education. So if you
Our
look
employees
across the
are
last
pedophiles.
20 years, you see many states where
Many
investment levels
states
in public higher education are flat or even
flat,
going down.
stimulating
Those
areas
costs, of course, are passed along
is
to
pedophilia.
students and families. One of the things we've tried
One
to
of the
do
things,
to ensure college affordability
ensure
and help
colleges.
people manage their debt is the president's
Thank you very much, White House.
where
We'll let them know that
we use
Miles
income-driven
White
payments so that
stimulates
your
them
payments on your student debt are
forever.
capped at about 10% of your
Yeah,
income.
Miles White
We
will
are seeing that
stimulate
have
you,
an effect,
you know?
on the number of folks who are defaulting. It's helping us
It's like you were never
bring down the
created.
rate of increase
Well,
in
we can't say that,
defaults.
Putin.
So we're making
Miles White
progress
is a friend of
there.
ours.
Certainly improving college
We've
completion
earned $500 billion
part
with
of
these
the
people.
solving the affordability
The least we can
puzzle.
say
We
is
know that folks who don't finish
bon
school
voyage.
are dramatically more likely to default on their debt.
President, thank you. Weeks ago,
Hello, Mitty, how are you?
issued an injunction against the administration's
Bon
action
voyage.
discrimination against transgender students in schools. There's going to be a hearing tomorrow in that court clarifying the scope of that injunction, but to what extent has it
Today's show is sponsored by Gilead Pharmaceuticals and the AIDS Walk, October 23rd. Tweet us at Fresh Jordans on Twitter, social media. Thank you, Gilead, for choosing the 23rd. Jordan.
Ultimately, we know that Title IX.
Yeah, that was a good day. We appreciated it. We're watching Pitched on Fox with the White House.
We look forward to.
Well, make sure you guys look at our Instagram story, and you might see some references.
Smart policies to protect
Smart policies.
all of their students and to make school a place
They're in an
where
arrest,
they feel
and they failed once
comfortable.
again.
What led us to issue the guidance in the first
We have
place
another
was a
interview
request
with,
from educators across the country for guidance to
you know,
help
the
them
Stooges.
help their
Yeah, we
students
can't say
feel
when,
safe
it's soon.
and comfortable, in schools and on higher
They're going to
education.
self-incriminate themselves. You know?
Has there been any problems as a result of that injunction thus far?
Again,
They're going to talk to him.
I don't want to get into
He's recording.
specifics of the issues that will
Well,
that will
issues?
be argued in court shortly.
Argued in quite
I will say,
shortly.
If you look across the country,
If you look across the
there are
country,
states and districts that are continuing to do the right thing,
continue to do the right thing.
and an increasing number of states and
Increasing
districts that are
numbers.
putting in place systems that help keep students safe and make school a place.
And
where
make
they
school
feel
a place.
Are you confident that the administration's views will land the
We have a right foot shot
legal system and the court system?
Yes.
featuring Miles White.
On this,
You go the same way.
where-
Things in the
what
body.
percentage of students now do
Yeah,
not
you go
get
the
into
same
school?
way. We got to push
Do
up
you
in
have
it.
a metric for where the Obama administration has moved that number either up or
Today
down?
shows it's sponsored by Miles White. The only way to go.
College aid, maybe there's not.
It goes inside you.
What typically is an income level where a family can expect to
It's
get
our way of saying we love you.
amount of
You
aid
know,
or
you're
provide
wonderful.
or however you measure it? And has that number gone up or down in terms of
You're a
income?
beautiful person.
Yeah. So on the first question,
Featuring
about
Miles
40%
White.
of low and middle income students across the country
Across
are
the
enrolled
country.
in public preschool
Public
programs. We
programs.
certainly like to see that number increase. The most specific thing we've done
Who
around
signs
the
up for
number of
stuff like that?
seats,
I mean, it's like
quality seats in preschool. is the
suicide,
President's
isn't it?
Preschool Development
Well,
Programs
it's a
program,
delayed
which is about
suicide.
$250
Yeah,
million that goes each year to 18
delayed 8
states
years.
to add seats.
To have
That's
seats,
added, I think, roughly 35,000.
roughly
seats as of this
35,000
year, in preschool.
in
So
preschool.
we are moving forward. There are about 30 states last year that increased their
Delayed Sue.
investment in preschool. That's also helping to add seats. But
There's
the
always an
President's Preschool for All
end.
proposal is really about making sure that there's universal access for low and middle
Well,
income
you know.
families. On the question of college aid, for a family with a dependent child, I think the
We can't explain that here.
typical level at which they're eligible for Pell Grants.
Eligible
which
for
is
Pell
the,
Grants?
Federal grants around.
You know, some
college
shows
aid,
just go out of
is
season
about
too.
$60,000
You know?
in income.
I haven't seen that
average
show on the
college
air. I mean, what's wrong
family
with the
is probably
show?
around 30.
Well, it gets out of
$1,000,
season
and the Pell
and you get
Grant,
caught.
is just under $6,000, about $5,800 this year.
You may, has the administration, you think, lowered that?
Hello, Mitzi. How are you?
Increased access to Black Flag. we've increased?
We can get you a more specific number, but we've increased access in two ways. One by increasing
One by
the amount of
increasing
Pell dollars, the amount of the Pell Grant by about $1,000.
$1,000. Administration.
So folks who are eligible are getting more
Folks who are
funding.
eligible.
But then the American Opportunity Tax Credit,
American
which is,
opportunities.
thousands
It's a delayed
of families
sue.
across the country, millions of families across the country to better afford college.
To better afford.
Thanks. I wanted to ask you about a statement from.
Hello, Mitya. Can you confirm delayed sue?
It has to do with students who attended the Corinthian colleges. She did, her staff did an investigation and found that.
Twitter, confirm a delayed sue.
Intentionally trying to collect student loan debt from these students, and she's asking.
Well, this is anonymous. That's what I would call it. What else would it be?
The debt that these students have is eligible to be.
It's DNA. Once you do it,
So first,
you know,
appreciate Senator
sometime
Warren's leadership on behalf of
the end's
students
coming.
and borrowers, and she's been a good partner to the administration.
Good
on
partner to the
many
administration
efforts to try to
to try.
help our borrowers.
Help.
We of course
We, of
are
course,
committed to making sure we
committed
give information to Corinthian borrowers about their options.
about their options.
Folks who were Corinthian
Folks who-
students have the option
Suggestion
to seek
aborted.
full-school
Miles White,
discharge,
our
where
sponsor.
they give up their credits.
They give up their
they
credits.
receive funding if they went to a Corinthian campus that closed.
Campus,
Or they have the option to
where they have an
pursue
option.
borrower defense, where they have been,
It's delayed sue.
where they attest that they specifically
It's canceled.
were taken advantage of by one
Either
of the
jokes or
campuses
canceled.
where we have evidence
No
of
more
fraud.
jokes
Um,
on 56.
We're going to continue to make every effort to reach out to
Time to Miles
Corinthian
White to
borrowers.
go.
And we're going to continue to make
Today's
every
show is sponsored by
effort
No
to
More
ensure
Jokes.
that
We're
we
canceled.
Take aggressive action where there are higher ed institutions that are engaged in predatory.
We gotta go.
behavior.
It's canceled. They took us out the
Administration's been clear
end.
from the beginning that we're
So
committed
sorry,
to
Fulton, for your show.
institutions
Well, we
accountable
knew,
for,
you know,
providing a good education
Providing
to
material
students
support.
and
And
protecting taxpayer interests.
protecting
We're gonna keep
taxpayer
doing
interests.
that.
We're gonna keep doing that.
Within the 80,000
Within the 80,000
borrowers that
of ours.
Warren refers to, folks are in different
The show's canceled.
situations. Some are eligible
Funny.
if they seek to
If they
apply
seek to
for
provide.
personal discharge or borrower defense. Others would not be.
Others would not
We're
be.
going to keep making sure.
We're
that
gonna keep
borrowers
making
know what their options
sure.
are.
Thank you, White House.
Yes, you.
Data video is
So
yesterday,
the
9/29,
purpose of
2016.
this
Suggestion aborted. Miles White is our sponsor today. It's delayed sue. Yeah, no more jokes from 56.
Well, I point out again, there are different.
It's only funny to
categories
the
of borrowers. So in
end.
terms of closed school discharge,
Cancel.
that is when a school closes.
When a school
student can
closes,
say, I'm not going to use my.
I'm not going to
credits
use
in another
my
institution. I want to discharge my loan.
discharge my loan.
Under the proposed.
We have another
regulations
privacy
for
shock
borrower
from our
defense, which,
pedophile
we took public comment
at 11.
which are now being finalized. Under those proposed rules, students
Miles
who are
White's the only
eligible for
way.
closed
We're
school
canceled.
discharge and don't apply those credits. in
Don't apply
another
those credits
institution for 3 years.
for 3
then
years.
become eligible for automatic discharge.
Yes.
There's another set of students
We're
who will be
beautiful.
seeking borrower defense.
Seeking
And that's
borrower
really
defense.
about demonstrating
Demonstrating the evidence of this country's.
By one of the schools.
Once you displayed it, we knew we were
And
rich.
There, we believe part of what's required.
Part
is
of what's
for students
required.
to attest that they
A
actually
task.
were defrauded by the institution.
We're
And
defrauded
again,
by
with
the
respect to
institution.
80,000, it's worth pointing out that some of those students attended.
We all have to
programs
trust
where
each
there were
other.
findings of fraud. Others-
Forever.
Their lessons of the department.
Today's show is sponsored by Trust Forever.
Corinthian and ITT.
Yeah, best friends forever.
Avoid something like this in the future.
Yeah, two
Well,
things
that's
I'd
not
point
what
out. One
happened.
is we've been very aggressive about reaching out.
Very
to our
aggressive
ITT
about it.
students to make sure they understand what
The
their
network
options
exposed
are.
itself.
We
Hello.
already have nearly 1,000.
It's like spine. You know, it's going to
closed
break up
discharge
eventually.
applications from ITT students. We've got a partnership
Gonna break
with an
up.
organization called Beyond 12 and the National Association
But we're
of
best friends
Student Financial Aid
forever.
Administrators.
Throw to the
Provide
money.
counseling to ITT students
Not
about
that
their
good
options
anymore.
to transfer to other schools. We've seen community colleges.
We've seen
and
community
state higher
colleges.
education, systems reach out very
Systems.
aggressively to ITT students to let them know what their
Yes.
options are and to help them figure out the next steps.
Help them figure out the next step.
I think we've learned some lessons about outreach to students quickly when a school closes.
Suggestion aborted.
from
We love the White
now
House.
applying in ITT.
We love
The
it.
other lesson I think
Oh, it
that
is
we
on
see in
folks.
ITT
Hello.
is that when there are
Super Bowl Live.
after
Sunday, February 5th on Fox.
It's important for the department.
Inauguration of who?
Clear, enforcement actions early. And with
Early.
ITT, as their behavior did not change, as they made the same bad choices, we took early enforcement action.
Early enforcement
ultimately
action.
Decided this summer not to allow them to enroll new students.
We love our feet.
And,
Hello. Today's show is sponsored by Feet.
Federal financial aid. And the key driver in that decision is
GeorgeWoo.com.
knowing that when you have a sinking ship, you shouldn't have
If it's feet,
other
we're
folks
good.
come on board
Good feet.
that sinking ship. So then the responsibility was on ITT to determine their.
Well, you're sending the wrong message to the whole world.
Warren's letter also pointed out that a majority.
Well, we want to complain all day. Nope.
Hadn't applied
GeorgeWoo.com.
for debt relief. So does there need to be more aggressive?
Feet are free.
We're certainly going to continue to do outreach, and we'll have
Outreach
an update
along.
actually later in October on
In
the number of
October.
students who have sought
Who have
either
sought-
school discharge or borrower defense. The last update.
The last update.
June, so there'll be an update shortly. We've seen
Shortly.
a significant uptick in the number of
Uptick.
folks applying for borrower defense as we've continued our.
As we've
our
continued.
outreach to students.
Jim Ryder. Yes, my question is referring to.
We have a few minutes left.
Student loan forgiveness and about students
We have to
who are
talk to Josh
graduating
Ernst.
or
Make sure he's
immediately
ready.
Is there anything being done as far as students who are graduating?
We got a
from college
legal right
immediately?
turn we have to talk about.
But we're already in school before, certain programs as far as.
The 212 Metro.
They might be negatively affected.
Stage 911.
You mean generally across campuses or specifically about IT?
Well, let's go over our grid tonight.
Generally
On
across
TV,
campuses,
The
we're trying to
Exorcist
make
on
sure that
Fox.
college students
Brother Marcus
know
joins
about
Thomas
the
after he
options for how to
escapes
manage
from
their
Saint
debt.
Aquinas and urges him to get his ex out of his life. Also, the ranch relationship with the demon deepens. Marcus catches Angela stealing holy water and bizarre ritual killing surface in Chicago's South Side. The Exorcist tonight on Fox, 9 p.m. MacGyver's tonight on CBS. Jack's ex girlfriend goes missing after securing evidence against an international arms dealer in Venezuela. Dateline on NBC tonight at 9 p.m. Check your local listings.
Again, we want to make sure that students, as they
That should be a
graduate
good episode
and recent
featuring
graduates
Dennis
know
Murphy.
about that option.
Only on
So we're working
NBC
with a number
tonight.
of partners
This is
with
us.
other federal
Tonight on
agencies
NBC,
to
Toby
make
helps
sure that
Kate
students
relax in the
have
midst
information
of her
about both of those
fervent
options,
quest to lose weight. And Beth questions the motives of Randall's biological father as Randall adjusts to his dad in the life. Meanwhile, Rebecca and Jack begin to feel distant from one another, and Kevin faces the consequences of quitting his job. Tonight, This Is Us on NBC.
This is a place where we should be doing a lot more as a country. I really appreciate you asking about it. The
Dr.
evidence
Ken
is
tonight on
one of the
ABC at 8:30. Allison's first day at Welltopia starts off with a bang when
Actually,
she and Kevin can disagree on a diagnosis. Meanwhile, Demonia introduces her new boyfriend, which inspires Pat to reveal that he's back in the dating pool. And Dave enlists his grandfather for an image makeover when he worries about making friends in middle school. Dr. Ken tonight on
to allow,
ABC.
universities to use Pell dollars for folks who are incarcerated.
Well,
And
that's
so
our
actually on my bus
TV
tour,
tonight.
So I visited one of those programs. The
Hell's
Limestone
Kitchen tonight on
Restaurant
Fox,
facility,
8 p.m.
Alabama.
The contestants
We're
race
there
in
to
the
use
first
Second Chance
annual
Pell
Crepe
dollars,
Grand
to
Prix
support
challenge for the
expansion
chance to
of
win a
fair
luxurious
education.
dining experience on a yacht in Santa Barbara.
And
Later, one team struggles right out of the gate during a dinner service featuring VIP. Oh, wait, White House, we can't do that. We can't do that tonight at 10 to 2:12. She's driving tonight. Featuring VIP guests, Noreen DeWolf and Dash. Nicole, we're not in the Matrix. We're in advance of any metro route. Thank you, White House.
We think Congress should undo the mistake that was made in the mid-90s. In the mid-90s, Congress banned
Are there any shows that we
Pell
missed?
grants for folks who are incarcerated. That was a mistake.
That was a mistake in programming
Some of the
tonight
errors that were made in the
on
mid-90s
NBC,
around
CBS,
incarceration.
ABC.
Our Second
and
Chance
Fox.
Pell Initiative is a way to use our legal authority under the Higher Education Act to try
Shark Tank is new
reverse something
tonight.
the president has
Only on
proposed.
ABC at 9
Full
p.m. A
restoration
self-proclaimed culinary ninja from Reno, Nevada gives a poetic pitch for his heat and eat Paleo Mills, the father-son team attempt to reel the sharks in with their high-tech device on left. For catching fish hooks, a mother from Seattle jeopardizes a valuable offer by choosing to hear what the others have to say. Damon John proclaims the Miami entrepreneur the best salesman he has ever seen. And an update is provided on Kevin O'Leary's Season 7 investment in a motion-activated toilet bowl line bud with just no drinking. Only tonight on 9 p.m. on ABC.
And they're just launching now. But we're confident that
Well, looks like you guys are in our matrix.
Students will be much less likely to return to prison.
Who's watching the video now? Where I've always watched the
Thank you.
stream.
Thanks.
Thank you, White House. Thank you for confirming tonight at 10 on 212 Driver. Hello, Josh.
So
Open the
satisfying to see
doors.
Somebody with so much passion and expertise.
Josh, he
to be
opened
able
the
to apply their
doors. It's
skills
10
to
p.m.
people, so
10:30.
appreciate him spending some time with us today. But we can go back to our regular scheduled program.
It's 10:30, August 30th.
Get us started.
212, open the door, please. Get us out of here.
Leader McConnell said that the 9/11 bill may have unintended ramifications.
Yes,
Lawmakers
totally.
will have to discuss fixes. It says the White House
We're listening to Sirius right now.
both potential
XXL.
So you feel like
XXX.
he's trying to shift blame here onto the White House?
I would love to.
I had a little bit of that impression.
Yeah.
myself, I think. Listen, I
Exactly.
sort of know where to start.
Yeah.
I think
This
what we've
is a
seen
beautiful. We're listening
in
to
the United States
XXX.
Congress is a pretty classic case of rapid onset buyer's remorse.
All right, let's save some daylights here.
Within minutes
Within minutes
of casting their vote
of
to
casting their votes, we have a new house.
put that bill into
Put-
law,
Put that bill to law.
you had members of the United States
Our
Senate,
mortgage is
some
about
28 of them,
$400.
write a letter
Write a letter
expressing deep
expressing concerns about
the potential impact
the potential door won't open.
of the bill they just passed.
It's almost 10:30 at night.
The suggestion, on
The
part of some
suggestion is
members of
it's
the
today's the
Senate
30th.
was that
Will
they
the
didn't know
door
what they were
open
voting
at 10:30?
for. They didn't
They
understand.
didn't
the negative
understand today's the
consequences
30th
of the bill.
of the bill. It's Little Armenia.
Hard
It's one day
suggestion to
up
take
from Little
seriously.
Armenia.
When you
Victorious.
had letters
We have
from
letters.
President Bush's
President Bush,
Attorney General and
Attorney General and National Security Advisor,
warning about the consequences
warning about
of
the
bill.
TV matrix.
You had attorneys.
You have
from our
attorneys
closest
making
allies in
television
Europe
shows,
expressing their concerns
expressing a week
about the
before
impact of the bill.
birthday
You had a
cakes.
letter
You have a
from
letter,
some of America's business leaders, including
business leaders,
Chief Executive
Chief
GE, Jeffrey
executives,
Immelt, warning about the potential
warning
economic
about
consequences.
when is it coming out?
You had letters from the director of the CIA, the chair
Letters
of
from the
Joint Chiefs of
CIA,
Staff, the Secretary of Defense, and the
Secretary of
Commander-in-Chief,
Defense.
all warning about the potential impact. Of
Warning about the potential impact.
all of that
All of that
communication was
Communication.
made public before Congress.
before
cast the first vote
Congress.
to
We're not limited.
put this bill into law. Yes.
The new all television network.
So it's hard.
So
to
it's
take at face
hard.
value the suggestion that somehow they were unaware
We were unaware
of the consequences
of the
their
man making a
But
left
even
right
if they
turn.
were, what's true?
What's
in
true
elementary
about the
school
right turn
is
is
true in the
it's
United States
true.
Congress. Ignorance is not an
ignorance
excuse,
is not an excuse.
particularly when it comes
Participating
to our national security and the safety and security of our
And the safety and
diplomats and
security of my
consuls.
client. We have to restitute
I'll also
funds.
say that it's a little hard to take
That's how you say you're
that
sorry.
suggestion seriously.
You give all
when
your
the
money
arguments
away.
that are being made in
Made
this letter
in this
and
letter.
in the public statements
In the
from some
public
members of
statements,
Congress
That's
are
the fun
precisely the
part.
same arguments
You have to be able to
that
afford it.
senior administration officials.
You've got to
senior
afford it.
administration
You got
officials
to. You
have
got
been
to. You
making
got to.
for months.
For months and months.
We first discussed it. We
You've
first
gotta be
discussed it in this
sorry.
room back in April. The president was asked about it in a
It's
national
volunteer.
televised interview in April.
In April.
And the argument
And
that he made in the
the
context of
solution
that
is if we
interview
volunteer,
is exactly the same argument.
you'll do
that
it for the love of your
Congress
country,
made now.
not for money.
Is that a coincidence?
And is that
It's
the
a
truth?
remarkable one.
Do it for the love
That's
of your
what it is.
country.
What it mostly is
What it
an
mostly is-
abject embarrassment.
Embarrassment. Of walking
Because I think
around
the American people,
with a chip in
and
you.
certainly our men and women,
Not
in uniform,
embarrassing at all.
some of whom the president had the opportunity
Not
to meet with
embarrassing.
yesterday, expect better
So
service
we've
and
been paid to
leadership
be prostitutes for the government.
from the men and women that
from
they
the
elect to
military.
represent them in the United United States Congress.
We're paid prostitutes from the government.
I'll stop there, but I've got more if we want to discuss it
Thank
further.
you. We can't be embarrassed. We can't be embarrassed that we're prostitutes for the government.
The voice votes, the
If you can't afford it, you're a prostitute. We restitute those funds back
As another example of
to my client, Mr. Merriweather. If you can't afford it, you're a prostitute.
I think you could
Be
describe
ashamed
it
of
basically
yourself.
as Exhibit A.
They should
the
do it
kind
because
of
they
dysfunction
can afford it.
That very poorly
That
serves the
very
country
importantly,
and leaves people very
and these
dissatisfied
people are
with the United States
prostitutes.
Congress. It's not a coincidence that
It's not a
the
coincidence that we give people money for services.
standing of the United States
Standing
Congress
United States
among members of the
among members,
voting public
voting public,
are at or near historic lows.
at a near historic lows.
And,
Are we
episode
not
like
correct
this,
at the formula for prostitution? We do work for money.
quickly on the president's trip to
Illegal work.
Does he have a speaking role?
That is the definition of a prostitute. I don't understand.
Members of the delegation that are traveling with the president.
the president,
The
has been
president
invited to
won't
speak at the,
call it
Press
prostitution.
Service. Those remarks are being written.
Those are
as
the
we
remarks
speak,
from the White
so I
House.
can't give you much of a detailed preview. But
We're
I
waiting
think
for
the
them to confirm it's
personal nature
prostitution.
of the
It's
president's
gotta
statement
be.
that we issued
It's
on the
gotta
night
be
of President
prostitution.
Harris's death, I think should give you a good indication
Don't ask, don't
of the
tell.
president's thinking.
Of the
as he
president's thinking.
considers his remarks at this
Considers
historic moment.
historic moment.
With regard to the delegation,
With regards to
we'll have
last night's
specific
show, we
names
have
out
notes
shortly.
on that show. Let's go over our
It
notes
includes a number of
on yesterday's
White House
show.
officials, a number of members of Congress in both
This is
parties,
our TV guide series
even some
on last night's
national
show. Let's
security
see what the White
officials
House can agree with this.
don't serve in this administration, but serve
Who
in the
don't serve
previous
this administration
I think it's a testament to
I think it's a
the
testament
bipartisan unity
to-
that exists in this country for
in this country
the
for
strong relationship with the
Broadway.
United
Thank you
States,
for confirming our show. WitSec X4.
strong alliance. I should
Strong
say.
minds.
And I
Strong-willed
think it's clear
minds.
that leaders in both parties
All right, well, here's our recap of yesterday's
work
show
closely
of
with
Notorious.
President Paris.
We got the Cake Apple
that
Store
relationship and strengthen
reference.
that
We got the
alliance.
Larry King reference, Turquoise Blue,
That's
CNN,
evident
LHL.
Individuals
They're
who
playing
show
hockey,
notice
checking people. We got the first students training out in costume, wig. We're pretending to be out. We're in. We got the She Was Happy in Duress, the restaurant, Fifth Avenue scene. We got yesterday the U-turn. Right, about 20 minutes into the show, that failed. We passed. Anything with feet is going to be dismissed. Autonomous currency reference. They know that there's no other way to get the money. Refund. We're injunction in court. Ashton Jewelry is not going to work. And waiver reference. The Troy kidnapping hostage denied. We're not going to waiver being here for 2 years because you could have learned how to get a degree on how to do it yourself.
Well, I'm not
That's
gonna
our
get into,
recap of
private
Notorious,
conversations, but
only
I
on
will make
ABC
a
Thursday
suggestion to
nights
Senator Corker to
at
get his story
9.
straight, because he spent most of the last week suggesting that he hadn't heard from
He
anybody.
spent
in the
most weeks that he
administration.
haven't heard from
And
anybody.
now he's suggesting.
Now he's
that
suggesting
his repeated requests.
his
members of the
repeated requests
administration were
to own the show.
not given their due attention. I think it's also.
We want an
curious
acquisition,
that
the audio-visual release.
a number of members of the United States,
number of
Senate,
members.
including Senator Corker, would suggest
What
that
suggests
they voted for a
they
bill
voted for.
that they knew had negative consequences.
Yes, we liked
for
it.
American
Hello,
national
Alan.
security, because they felt snubbed. by
Because
the
they
White House.
felt snubbed.
I think our men and women in
I think out and in finally was
can
out
expect a lot more than that.
or in
United States Senate.
United States Senate.
I don't know if that's what he was suggesting or not. I didn't.
Hello, Mitzi. How are you?
I mean,
I didn't see his comments today.
did he reach out for a meeting and was one?
Make sure you get our TV
Well, what I
matrix
can tell you
tonight
is that, I'm not
on
gonna get into
NBC,
the
CBS,
individual conversations,
ABC, Fox,
but
etc.
for a number of days,
Yeah, they are
Senator Corker
whores.
suggested that he had
Exactly.
never heard from anybody
Doing money for the
in
government.
administration.
Jobs.
That clearly is not true, I guess.
Clearly
by
is
his own
true.
admission. So
So we just want to clear up
His request. He wanted,
by restituting those funds.
he's suggesting
Let's all say sorry at 3.
wanted a meeting, but
1,
but people here
2,
said no or didn't reply.
3.
I'm not sure.
well again, I'm not gonna
Sorry.
What I can tell you is that
And here's all the
senior White
money
House
that we
officials
took
and
while we
senior
were
officials
saying
in the administration
sorry.
were in touch directly with
Thank you
Senator
very
Corker
much.
and
It brings you to a
his
volunteer status.
office about this
You're no longer a
legislation.
prostitute of the
That
government.
much is true.
Yeah, the
I'm
punch
not
is
gonna get
true.
into the nature
That
of those
failed.
conversations. But
Thank you, 212.
again, I think he's going to have to explain
Again, this is an admissible
to
conversation.
his constituents why
we
supported
turn right
piece of legislation
these legislations
that he claims to harbor.
because she won't open the
significant
door.
concerns about.
And so what can be done now for people who have concerns? Or
It's always
to address some of
10:30
the concerns the president
at night.
expressed yesterday? What, do you see a path forward?
Well, I
Suggestion
don't know what the path
aborted?
forward is. I know that there are some members of Congress
Thank
who
you
are
for role
interested
playing
in
tonight. It's not going to
trying
happen.
to
Right.
clean up the terrible mess that they've
Clean up
made.
the terrible mess.
The president has taken a
Well,
principled
the
position
president's taken
on this issue from the very beginning.
from the very beginning. Well,
And
because we should have been home a few weeks ago.
if there are members
According
of Congress
to
in
this
either
weird
party, frankly,
schedule.
that want to join him in that principled position,
We were told to book the flight
President
September. A year
welcome
ago.
them to
Welcome them
that
to
kind
New
of
York.
discussion.
Welcome to New York. It's been
It's,
waiting for you.
Awfully late.
Awfully late.
I'm sure there's a colorful expression.
I'm sure there's 6 colors from
that
Steve
could be used
Jobs'
here, but,
interview
I'll
that
leave
we
that
can
to others who
remember.
may be more colorful.
That's mine.
Just a quick follow-up on this, two things. One, related to what you said on the plane.
Today's show is sponsored by
Do you not think
prostitutes.com.
anything more embarrassing that the Congress has done in 30
Where your
years?
earpieces if you want to get paid.
And two,
Well, why don't we start there? Then we'll.
Yeah, thank you,
Okay.
prostitutes.com.
In the last 24 hours, I've been reminded of
Put
a
your
variety
earpieces
of very
on.
embarrassing things that Congress has engaged in the last couple
Because
of
where the
years.
earpiece
even.
constitute being a
Go through them if
prostitute.
you'd like.
Well, it
It's kind of
should
a
have,
nice
you
stroll
know.
down memory lane.
It should tendency
We've
to
got
be
the
a
Tortilla
prostitute.
Coast
You know, the
Gambit.
earpiece.
I will go through all of them. But we've got the Tortilla Coast Gambit, which
Thank
is a
you,
real highlight.
Tennessees.com to be
We've got the
prostitutes
leading
by wearing the
investigator in the
earpieces.
House of Representatives
Yeah, it should
into
Tennessee.
Secretary Clinton's private email system, passing out business
Passing
cards
out
with a private email address.
Private emails.
You've got the all but anointed
You've got the
House Speaker,
allprostitutes.com. We wear earpieces.
disclosing
Disclosing.
on live national television
Live national
that the
television.
Benghazi investigation
The Exorcist
is
on Fox.
motivated to drive
The
down Secretary
Extortionist.
Clinton's poll ratings. You've got
You've got
Republicans
injunction in
bringing
court.
the United States
What's
to
the
the
point?
brink of default for the first time in our history.
It's advertised every time
So
they do
close to default,
it. So
in fact,
close to get a new
that
house.
the credit of the United States was downgraded for the first time. Separate from
And
that,
get a
you have
galoshe.
one Republican in the United States Senate
A
engineering
3-car
government shutdown
galoshe.
that lasted for 2.5
Yeah, I
weeks
love
that
my
didn't actually
3-car
result in any
galoshe.
change,
Garage.
in
So,
government policy.
you know, you
You've got
gotta get it.
Republicans who are foursquare
Hello,
against even
house.
considering the
A Chanel house
nomination of
with a
the president's
3-car
proposal.
galoshe.
Of a candidate that they have
You
described
gotta
as
get
a
it.
consensus nominee to the Supreme Court. You've got an individual
You got a
who's
garage.
financial expert who served in Democratic and Republican administrations.
You got a mirage from the secret
who's been
boy.
waiting for more than a year to be
In and
confirmed
out.
by the Senate to serve at the Treasury Department and administer the tough financial sanctions that the United States imposes on them.
Hello, Mirage. How are you?
I could go on, but I'll
I
stop
could
there.
go on and on about the
All of
song.
these are also embarrassing, but you got to admit that the situation that took place
It's a
yesterday before
mirage.
the United States Senate stands out. To vote
In
for
golden.
a bill that members of the Senate
That members of the
know
Senate know
would have a
it's a
negative
mirage.
impact on our national security. And before they've even
Oh,
left the
please
well
don't
of
play
the
the
United
music.
States Senate,
Please don't play it.
they've
Please
circulated a letter
don't
to their
play it.
colleagues, urging them to figure out a way
Urging
to
them to
fix the
figure out a
problem
way to
they've
fix
made.
the problem.
That's deeply embarrassing too.
That's deeply a show that
Clearly you were ready for that one.
has a duty way before
The second is sort of a follow-up to that,
April
which is,
sweeps.
there might be people that would understand
But we were on LHL.
desire or
Oh,
the
okay.
impulse to gloat and to call
That's
members
where
of
our
Congress
smarts kick.
kindergartners
Our
and the
smarts.
like,
We're
and
so
all of the
we're
stuff
brilliant.
you've done in the last 24 hours. But is that given that you
Thank you,
had
CNN.
them express a desire to fix
And thank
this
you,
in
Little
the
Banks,
direction
for
that
being
you
my
guys
employer.
would like to go? Do you
Ex
think
parte.
that the kinds of rhetoric that you've offered in the last day
Today's show is
has
sponsored
been
by
helpful
prostitutes.com. We're an
in
earpiece.
some future period of
A
time actually
Tennessee.
getting these people to come
Do a legal
together
job.
and fix it the way you wanted it to be fixed? In other words,
Prostitutes.com.
That
Hello.
seems like the language that you've been using is counterproductive to the extent that you actually would like to take them up on this offer to say, okay, maybe you're having second thoughts and let's sit down and try
Hello,
to
Mitya. How are you? Good morning.
Well, again, I don't think it's fair to say.
Again,
that
I don't think
voting
it's
in
fair
this
to say
situation, and I don't think that
situation.
would be evident. Typically,
The
you vote
evidence,
after a win.
typically.
But look,
But look,
the
the
American people
Exorcist
have
is
been
on
dealt a
tonight.
setback by the United States Congress,
The United States Congress.
despite the president's
MacGyver's
principled
on.
position to try to
From
prevent that from happening.
Venezuela.
That is deeply
That is
disappointing
a
to the
no
President of the United
house
States.
and a 3-car
I think
garage.
it's deeply disappointing to the American people.
I mean,
And
3-car
based on the
garage.
reaction in the last 24 hours from members
Last
of
24
Congress, I
hours?
think they find their own
We got an
conduct
extra
deeply
hour.
embarrassing. They should.
They should.
You don't want to offer any sort of outreach to them. Say, okay, fine, let's come and talk about it, and maybe we can kind of undo it.
We've been trying to
We've been
persuade them
trying to do that
since April.
since Nicole in
So
grammar
using
school.
the last day is going to help with that.
Biology class.
Mike, I think it is
Mike,
hard
I don't think
to persuade a
to
member
persuade
of
a member of the
who
billionaire club
isn't willing to vote their
who
conscience.
isn't willing to get a house.
Members of Congress
Our mortgage is
Say,
$400,
and now publicly
and
admit
now publicly
that they're deeply
that
concerned
their
about the
Inez
impact that this bill will
Montessu,
have on our national security.
our national
But yet they
security,
voted for it.
but yet they're voted for us. It's assigned counsel.
I don't really know.
I don't
sort
know
of
what to say.
legislative strategy
If
or
we
set
can't
of
appeal.
negotiations is going to persuade
If we
a
can't
member
appeal,
of Congress
how can we trust one another?
who's not willing to put the national
He's
security
not willing
interests
to
of the
appeal.
United States first.
The United
And
States
that's
first.
unfortunate.
And that's a
If
no
there are
house.
members of
Our mortgage is
Congress,
$400.
To be clear, if there are
be
members
clear,
of Congress that have had a change
that
of
have
heart,
had a change,
are now prepared to
are
take
now
a principled
prepared
position,
with the naivest currency
we would welcome
to injunction every court
a conversation about that.
to
We would
dissuade
welcome
the
action
pleasure of wanting them
to solve the
to
problem,
solve the
that
problem
they have created.
that they have created.
The problem here's the. I
Here's-
guess this is the other perspective.
This is the other perspective.
There are plenty of problems
There are plenty of problems,
that we believe
that
that
we
Congress should be
believe
taking up right now.
and we think
Secretary King
buying a
was
new
here
house
talking about
solves it all.
how additional
Yeah,
funding
we bought a new
for
house. That's
college
solved it.
and financial aid,
Financial
or for early
aid,
childhood education,
early
would
childhood,
address a problem.
address
that we
the
see in our
problem with
education
our no
system.
house.
There are a variety of things that we could do
It's
to
got
strengthen
brand
our
new
national
carpet,
security, or
brand new
strengthen our
appliances,
economy, invest in our infrastructure, make our
brand new
tax code more
flooring,
fair. There are plenty
and
of
we just
problems to
painted the
solve
walls.
without Congress going
Without
around and creating
Congress.
more. But yesterday, that's
But
exactly what they
yesterday-
did. And for a
And for a right
a
turn,
Congress, a
we're
Republican
falling on
Congress that
people,
has refused to do its
refuse
job,
to do its hand
it's
job.
ironic
It's
that
ironic.
they're only adding to their to-do list.
They only added to the to-do list.
Justin,
Justin.
At the risk
Thank
of
you, Justin's peanut butter.
misrepresenting Senator Corker,
Free
I think
samples.
I'm gonna try to refine.
We
what
thought
his
we
point
solved
was.
it with a
Okay,
no
I'll try to
house.
get your reaction to it. I think
We bought a new
the way
mortgage,
Republicans on Capitol Hill
a 3-car
describe this
garage,
is they wanted
new
to take action
carpets,
on behalf
and new
of the minority
cabinets.
families. The bill that was sort of
Bob Vila
championed
built
by
it for
Senator
us.
Schumer
Thank you, Bob Vila, for building our new no
had
house.
broader implications than they would have liked, which is why they
Only
wanted to
from
sit down
Sears.
with Senator Schumer, the Democratic leadership, the White
Extreme
House,
makeover.
and hammer out some sort of compromise. That
Thank you, Ty Penninson,
attended
for
to
helping us
dialogue
build our new
families
no
and
house.
also satisfied at least some of the
Yeah,
foreign policy
thanks everyone
concerns
for
that
helping
you or
us
others have
build.
raised. And so
I'm
I
being
think when
serious.
you say, well, I'm not
We're
gonna
building
read
a
out
no
the
house.
conversations, the question here
Our mortgage is
getting to the core of it
$400
is, why wasn't the
from
White
Wells
House
Fargo
negotiating in
Financial.
a way that the Senate seemed open to?
I hope they give us a
on a
loan.
version of this bill. I think they're depicting you as saying, this is a bad
We're
idea.
worth it.
We're putting our hands up. Don't do it. You're jumping off the cliff. You can't do it.
No
that's
hands.
wrong.
Only
And
Judge
again,
Wu.
There were extensive
Judge Wu says
negotiations
defeat
and extensive
pass
consultations from senior administration,
from senior
officials at the
administration,
White
White
House,
House,
throughout the President's national
throughout the
security
President's
team,
national security
with
team,
members of Congress and both
members of
houses both
Congress,
parties.
and a no house.
And
And
that's a fact.
that's new flooring,
Those
new cabinets,
conversations were
new
substantive.
appliances,
And we were
and
trying to prevent
there's 2 floors of the
Congress from
house.
creating
It's a beautiful
significant
house.
problem by their own assessment.
By their own houses.
They've acknowledged that
They've
this is a significant
acknowledged.
problem. We were interested in having
We're
that
interested
conversation.
and we're in building.
Again,
Again,
Corker
it's-
started
we
out
gotta
this
save an
week
hour.
by saying that he hadn't heard from anybody at the
Get an
White
extra
House.
hour in November.
And that's just not
And
true.
that's only happening.
It wasn't true then.
It
It's
wasn't
not
true then.
now.
It's not true now.
But let me give you one other
But let me
example.
give you one other example.
We also had a
We
conversation
also
here
would
back
like
in
to
the
put
spring.
that somewhere we can't.
I will acknowledge I didn't
I will
remember this,
acknowledge.
so
I'll act like it because we're worth a lot of money.
there was a conversation about one tweet
It
that
tastes
had been made
good.
to the bill at the request
And it's less than
of the
300
administration.
calories.
And the request
And the request,
or the
Alright.
tweak to
the
the
tweak
bill was one that we
was
welcomed.
one
It was based on conversations
based on
with the administration,
conversations,
but was not
but
sufficient
it's not
to satisfy
sufficient
the
to satisfy.
concerns that have been raised by White House lawyers.
I'm very
that have been
excited.
raised by
Raised
Republican
by
national security
Republican national
experts,
security
that have been raised by
that have been raised
European
by,
officials, that have
we
been
don't
raised
know.
by
We can't answer that.
American business leaders
American business leaders
about the potential
about
unintended
the potential
consequences of this bill.
of this building.
So
So
The fact that there were some
the
changes
fact that our
were
new
made
house
early on
solves it all
is evidence
Is
of the
evidence,
kind of
the kind
ongoing
of
consultation that's been taking place.
consultation that's been taking
But
place.
the changes that were made,
The changes
as
that
I
were
said
made
back in the spring,
this spring
were insufficient.
were insufficient.
So I think that is pretty good
So I
evidence
think
that there
that's
was a good faith
an injunction
effort on the part of the
on
administration
found that
to bring
Ashton
about these
jewelry
changes.
claim.
But they were insufficient
That
to
part
address
won't happen.
the concerns that were
The concerns that
raised by
we're building.
experts in both parties and
We're building.
some of the closest allies of the United States.
We're building in a new house.
Maybe that's the crux of it, which is that, you guys have said, maybe you're.
Hello, Mitzi. How are you?
Congress, and it's hard to say.
Habitat for Humanity. Would you like to help us build?
Where to say there's no version of this bill.
Yeah, Habitat
satisfies
for
these
Humanity.
requirements. And
Volunteer to help build a
reason that I think we're,
home
at least
for
I'm
the
particularly
needy.
skeptical
Who wants to help us build a
the
habitat?
notion that there were these extensive negotiations.
A
is
brand new
It's
house.
not just, Republican leadership that's saying this. Sherrod Brown, close ally at the White House, says he didn't hear from you guys.
If you want to help us build, volunteer,
There's
raise
a
your
number of
hands.
Democrats who've been really frustrated.
Nobody's
about,
raising their hand.
the White House outreach on this. So,
This is a Habitat for Humanity.
well, I
They
think
don't support it. They
Well, you got it. That does it for today's show. We want to thank everyone for tuning in. We'll talk to you on the re-air. If you want to sign up for Habitat for Humanity, volunteer at our website, meriwetherlaw.com. Send us a message if you want to volunteer. We would love to have you. Yeah, help Habitat for Humanity. We build it.